this episode, I almost perish horribly.
Oh God! I'm chewing it. So, as predicted, I'm going for a panorama. One of my friends from out west is coming to visit.
That wasn't the plan.
Oh, look at these mushrooms. This is probably a complete waste of time.
I think I'm gonna turn around.
There might be a unicorn at the top. I only brought one lens because I'm about ready to perish. So I've been running around like a blue-arsed fly. Quite happy with the composition. Just waiting for the light to happen. And then come back up in the morning.
What?
Right, we're up in North Cape Breton. And the plan is to hike up that peak that you can just see up there, that nub.
That's us, that little white dot in the camper. And this cliff, well, that's where we're going. I'm sure it's not as steep as it looks though, surely.
Now, it always gives me a giggle when I repeatedly get the same comments about my bear spray. Oh, I don't think you'll need that in Nova Scotia, Gavin. Well, up here in the Highland, this is where you're more likely to bump into a bear. And we've actually seen a very large black bear in another part of Nova Scotia on one of our very first hikes. So there's not many of them, but they are here. And the reason why I don't take it out for when I go to places where I know there's no chance of getting a bear is because if I do that, I'll probably forget to put it back in. And then if I ever need it, it's not there. So there you go, that's why it's always in this pocket. Oh, look at these mushrooms.
Now, are these poisonous or are these edible? Post a comment and let me know. Ugh.
So part of the reason why we're up here in the Highland is the Cape Breton Highland is world famous for its spectacular fall colours. So we're kind of doing a bit of a recce mission and we're just seeing these little teasers of what's to come, little splashes of colour in the forest there. So I'm super excited about that.
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
A little bird tells me that one of my friends from out west is coming to visit fairly soon to take in these fall colours. So, you know, that's all I'll tell you about it for now. If you think you know who it is, post a comment, let me know. Right, let's get up this backbreaker.
Now, at this stage of the hike, we're about here, but where we need to be is up here. It's more of a climb than a hike.
I'm a little bit concerned because so far the trail's been quite easy, it's been quite steady. And I know we're going up a steep hill, so the longer this continues, that means the steeper it's going to get when we get to the steep part. So a little bit concerned about my Fathsma. If you don't know what that is, that's fat man's asthma.
But Amanda, well, she had no such problems with her lithe frame. However, doing the Limbo after a bean burger lunch does come with dire consequences.
Oh God! It's just raw sewage.
That's the mushroom.
Mushrooms don't smell of sulphur. So no more bean burgers for you, love.
No, I warned you. I was a bit gassy.
You did. I'm chewing it. I've got a feeling that things are about to get step-yard. Well, as predicted, it is very steep. And I'm so out of practice, I forgot to bring my hiking poles. Not for the way up, but for the way down. So this is going to be a bit sketchy coming down. Let's just hope it doesn't rain. But then if it does rain, might get rainbows and stormlight.
Between Amanda's trouser shouts and my impersonation of some faulty bagpipes, we made enough noise to scare off any bears.
So here's my philosophy about hiking. I don't enjoy it. I do it because I have to, but I don't hate it because I know that one day I won't be able to do this. I'll be too old and too knackered to get up these hills, and then I'll be cursing myself for whinging when I was younger, wishing that I could just get up that hill and do the things that I'm doing now, even at the age of almost 50. So I don't enjoy it, but I'll do it gladly. And if I feel like there's any chance of getting a good shot when I get to the top, then that's my motivation. If I do get a good shot, well then I'm so glad I did it and it was all worthwhile. but looking in the distance here, I'm not that hopeful. I'm really not. This is probably a complete waste of time and energy, but we need the exercise, so we'll plod on, eh, love?
I think I'm gonna turn around.
No.
Well, you said it's gonna be a waste.
Well, it might be, but it might be brilliant.
I don't like might be.
There might be a unicorn at the top. But anyway, let's get to the top of this hill.
At this point in the climb, we hadn't even cleared the tree line, and time was rapidly running out.
So I'm kind of annoyed with myself now because the sun is just about to set over that peak in the distance, and I expect if I was right at the spot where I'm hoping to shoot, it would probably be stunning right now, but I wasted that time earlier filming that drone footage that you saw at the beginning of the video, and I think that might have ruined my chances of spectacular light. But I'm going to soldier on anyway. I'm going to go up anyway, because once the sun's gone down, I might get some nice reflected light up in the clouds. I know that last night's sunset was fantastic where we were, and this morning's sunrise was amazing, so there's always that chance. But honestly, I don't even know if we're even halfway. Haven't cleared the trees yet, so I'm just about ready for a chicken booner right now. Well, I might be wrong, but I think that's it. I think that is that rock pile, or at least the bottom part of it. So I think we're almost here. I really hope so, because I'm about ready to perish. Oh, the sky looks quite nice.
With the finish line in sight, I gave it one last push to the top.
Wow, what a view. That was worth the effort. Once it's done, it doesn't seem that bad, does it? It's all behind you. But I only brought one lens, and I'm glad I picked the right one. I picked the 14-24 because this scene is so wide. I can see me needing to do a pano, because what I love is those sort of misty mountains you can just see in the background, and then obviously this nub, but all of this in the background, all of these islands, the reflections of the clouds, absolutely magical. And you can even see, it probably won't even show up on this, but you can just see the camper down there. That's how far we've come in probably about an hour and 15 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, I'm thinking big pano that takes in all of this, maybe like 140 degrees, about that. But I think I can take my time now, because look at that, as predicted, it's gone down behind that cloud. No chance of amazing direct light, so I can start composition hunting, looking for a nice interesting foreground, and set up my shot. So I've been running around like a blue-arsed fly with the camera, just handheld, just getting an assortment of rough and ready shots just to see which compositions I like. And I'm kind of torn. So if I just move over here, I'll show you what I mean. I don't mind those types of shots where the trail, like the footpath, is part of the composition and it kind of leads you into the shot. But they work better when it's a sort of clearly defined footpath. Whereas this is just kind of like a bald patch in all of this scree. So I don't know whether to include that trail, or, you know, the path, or try and compose something that makes it still look wild and trailless. I might do both. I'll probably just do both. But I think I'm more drawn to a composition that doesn't really feature the trail. Now, if it was a windy S-curve or something like that, then totally I would. But it's just not that shapely. So I'll try and frame up something that features mostly just the rocks and then that beautiful background. But the other challenge that I've got is all of the more interesting rocks here. If I fill my foreground with those, it means I'm going to lose some of that really nice background there that you could see with all of the water and the islands. And so if I want to get more of that, I have to move over there, and that excludes these interesting rocks. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, as always. But I'm confident I can find a nice tasty comp I'm not too confident I can find it before the light changes though. We'll see. So I've just set up my shot, and of course the sky is doing something quite lovely in the opposite direction to where I'm shooting, which is just, that's standard, you know, that's almost guaranteed. But I'm just going to hold out some hope with this composition, keep my camera pointed at where the composition is, and hope that the light enters that, because I can just see a tiny bit of colour over in the clouds over there. It is very unlikely. I think my chances are quite slim, but you never know, it might just light up. So I'll just show you this composition, and then we'll play the waiting game. So as predicted, I'm going for a panorama. So you can see this beautiful mountain over here, and then here's the peak that we've scaled. So this is going to be my rightmost frame. So I'll take that shot, and then I'll sweep through the frame to about there, and that's where we bring in all these lovely bodies of water, all these gorgeous reflections of the clouds. Take another shot there, and then I'll sweep through to that, take another shot there, and then just to be on the safe side, I might just add a little bit of extra, kind of like this little island that you could just see in the background there. So that is it, that's my composition. Quite happy with the composition. Just waiting for the light to happen. You know, there's a chance, you know, there's a chance. Not very big chance, but there's a chance. Anyway, if this shot turns out to be even slightly better than complete crap, here's the shot.
As is often the case, I didn't get the light that I wanted, but let's be honest, how often do we really get spectacular light? I don't know about you, but for me, I would say it's about 1 in 10.
But at least I now have this location in my memory, and I can come back as many times as it takes to get a shot. And in the fall, in maybe 6 weeks from now, this should all be glowing bright yellow, orange and red. So I think we'll be coming back. And who knows, we might get a beautiful misty morning with some gorgeous light.
Do you think it'll be easier going down or up?
It'll definitely be worse going down. It'll be less strenuous, but a bit more sketchy. So we're gonna have to go now before it gets dark, and just go slow. Anyway, the camper is just down there, so we're gonna spend the night and then come back up in the morning.
What? That wasn't the plan.
With the drone. I'll send the drone up. Yeah, and then I'll bring it out into the bay there, because look at these islands. If we can get some beautiful reflection in the morning.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Ooh, that'd be nice. So we'll say, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. But we might not. We might see you in the morning. So kind of good night then.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, the next morning was glorious, with calm waters, beautiful light, and a bald eagle. Can you see it? With conditions like this, it would be rude not to shoot an aerial panorama. So I did. This is one of my favourite places in Nova Scotia, and if you're wondering if we did go back a few weeks later for those fall colours, well, of course we did. But that, my friends, is a different story. So be sure to tune in to next week's episode for some stunning landscape photography adventures and, of course, some ridiculously stupid shenanigans.